Hey everyone! Today we're going to tackle a piece of grammar that can seriously level up your English and make you sound like a total pro, the passive voice. I mean, you've seen headlines just like this all the time, right? That little switch, that's the passive voice in action. It's this super powerful tool you see everywhere, from the nightly news to complex scientific articles. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to know exactly how and, more importantly, why to use it yourself. All right, so first things first, what even is the passive voice? Well, at its core, it's all about changing who or what is the star of your sentence. See, instead of focusing on the person doing something, the passive voice shines a big ol' spotlight on the person or thing that had something done to it. So in our example, a bank was robbed. The bank is the main character here. The robber, well, maybe we don't know who they are, or for the point of the headline, it's just not the most important piece of info. Okay, but here's the catch. There's one golden rule you absolutely have to follow to make the passive voice work. You need what's called a transitive verb. Now, that sounds way more complicated than it is, I promise. It's just a verb that needs to pass its action onto something else. It has to have a target, you know? Let's make this super clear. Look at this first sentence. Someone broke the window. The verb broke is doing something to the window. See? The window is the object. But then you have Sarah runs home. The verb runs doesn't have an object. Sarah's just running. The action pretty much stops with her. And that's why this matters. You can easily flip that first sentence into the passive. The window was broken. Makes perfect sense. But if you try to do that with the second sentence, you get home is run, which, yeah, is just complete nonsense. So that transitive verb rule isn't just some random thing to memorize. It's what actually makes this whole structure work. All right. So we know what it is and the magic ingredient you need to make it. But the real question is, when should you actually use this thing? Because this isn't just for passing a grammar test. It has some really specific, really useful applications in the real world. First up, just like with our bank example, it's perfect for when you're talking about a crime or some kind of incident. Usually that's because you either don't know who did the action or it's just not the important part of the story. If you say, my bicycle was stolen, the focus is on your poor bike and the fact that it's gone, not on some mystery thief. Okay, you see this one all the time in any kind of formal or scientific writing. When you're describing a process, the focus on the steps of the process, right? Not the individual people doing them. The vaccine was delivered is the key piece of information. We don't really need to know the name of the person who drove the truck. And now for the, let's call it the clever use case. Diplomacy, or avoiding blame. Saying many mistakes were made sounds a whole lot softer than saying Bob made a ton of mistakes. It's a really tactical move. Now, this can be a good thing, a way to be tactful, but you'll also see it used by people who are trying to dodge responsibility. So yeah, it's a powerful tool and it's good to keep an eye out for it. Now, everything we've talked about is great for more formal situations, but there's a much more casual version that I bet you use all the time without even realizing it. This is what we call the get passive, and it's perfect for everyday, informal speech. The rule couldn't be simpler. Instead of using a form of the verb to be, like is or was, you just swap in the verb get. It instantly makes your English sound way more natural. For example, Linda was fired is perfectly correct, but it sounds a little stiff, almost like something you'd read in a report. Linda got fired. Now that's how you'd actually tell the story to a friend. You can just feel the difference, right? Here's another great one. You'll be caught. Sounds like something a villain in an old movie would say. But you'll get caught. That's what you'd actually yell to a friend. It's immediate, it's informal, and it's just so much more natural. Okay, we've covered the what, the why, and even the casual get version. I think you're ready. It's time to put all this knowledge together for a quick little challenge. You game? All right, first one up. Think about the tense here. The action started in the past, and it's still relevant now. The focus is on the meme. What's the passive form of the verb share? You got it. This cat meme has been shared. The meme is the subject, receiving all that sharing action. Perfect. Let's try another one. Okay, this one is talking about a future event. The meeting isn't doing anything. The action is being done to it. So how would you say this using the passive voice? Spot on? Next month's book club meeting will be held in the town library. See, you're definitely getting the hang of this. Okay, let's do one more. All right, last one. Think about this. The action, the updating, was in progress at a specific time in the past, yesterday, right when I was trying to use the site. What form do you need here? And that's the one. It was being updated. Fantastic work. You have officially navigated the passive voice, all the way from formal reports to casual chats. So now that you know what to look for, I'm curious, what's the cleverest or maybe the sneakiest use of the passive voice you've ever come across? Maybe in a headline or a famous quote? Let us know down in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more guides that make complex stuff simple. Thanks for watching.